Hey everybody, Warner here. So today I'm going to be showing you some quick resources that you can use that are built into student Chromebooks that help struggling readers and writers. This can be huge for some of our students. I know particularly I'm thinking of one student that we have in seventh grade who, when we assessed them, we found out that that student can identify 14 letters. In case you're not sure, there are 26 letters of the alphabet. The student can identify 14. But we worked with them to help make sure that they know that they have some of these capabilities on their Chromebooks. And it has been a game changer for that student. Okay, so let's start by taking a look at a website with text that you might have them try and read or take a look at. So what I went ahead and did on this Chromebook is I went into the settings, right? Again, you just click on the clock, get to that gear icon, and then I typed in accessibility up at the top. And then I went to accessibility features, and I made sure that select to speak is turned on. Okay, and you see the little blue check mark. What that does is on the bar down at the bottom, there's this little button now that when they click that button, and then drag and drop over text, we get this purple selector. And then when they let go,
Bliss copy. Ever since Lincoln wrote it in 1864, this version has been the most often reproduced, notably on the walls of the Lincoln Memorial in Washington.
it will read the website to them, right? Any text or anything that I pull up. Okay. If I change the reading speed, you can change that there as well. Okay. You can have it read it faster or slower. You can dig into the settings and change the voice and the pitch and all that kind of stuff in the settings. But right off the bat, that's a pretty big deal. Okay. So if they have headphones that they can wear, even if it's like AirPods or something, instead of listening to SoundCloud, they can actually listen and they can pretend like they're listening to SoundCloud to their friends around them, but they can literally be sitting here and having the website read to them so that they can actually access it. Let's take a look at this in a Google Doc. So I went in and clicked on Tools, scroll down to Accessibility Settings, and I made sure that screen reader support, that kind of stuff, I made sure that that stuff was turned on. That opens up this accessibility reader built into Google Docs. Or you can also go in and use that same built-in select to speak.
The Gettysburg Address. Gettysburg, Pennsylvania. November 19, 1863. On June 1, 1865.
So you get the idea. So it's going to go through and read the selections, even inside of a Google Doc, which sometimes gets weird with some of these screen reader things. There you go. Right, it's in there. You might know, so these are some features that you can have it read to students if this is text in a different language. Check the video on working with ELL students. This will also read that text in whatever language is selected as well, right? So maybe you're a teacher who teaches a different language other than English. You can have it read. You can give them some text selections and have it read out loud to them. So this is a built-in feature to a screen reader for every single one of our students. You can also, especially if a student in an IEP has text-to-speech, right? That is something that used to be really difficult to do. They had to have a big machine. I don't know if you ever saw those, but $1,000 machine that would read them stuff that was out loud that was written on there, or would have to have an adult sit there and read that to them. Maybe you would mask it with popcorn reading skills or class read alouds, but now it's built in, right? Also built in is some speech to text features. Okay, so you might have seen some kids, there's a virtual keyboard in Chrome OS that they can pull up where they can click the button just like you might do on your phone if you're like walking around and hit that button and talk to your phone. I do that all the time. My wife looks at me sideways whenever I do it, but you know, it's cool. There is one built into Google Docs, which you might already know about. So if you go to if you go to Tools and then go to Voice Typing in Google Docs, you'll have to go up here and make sure it has access to your microphone and all that good stuff. But if you click that button, then it is going to start listening to what I'm saying with my voice, and eventually at some point, this usually works, but I guess maybe because I'm using my microphone to record this video, it's getting confused. But oh, I guess this took a second. But you can see that it is recording everything that I put in there. You can tell it to put in punctuation, right? Period, exclamation point, a new line. You can tell it to delete. But this kind of stuff has been in a Google Doc for a while, but it really only works in a Google Doc. Students aren't always just in Google Docs. So if we go back to our handy dandy accessibility features, there's also dictation. So now you see at the bottom, on this bottom bar on my taskbar, you see on my taskbar at the bottom, the little microphone button. That is now going to start listening, and wherever I have my cursor, it is going to start trying to listen to what I'm saying. And when I stop speaking, it is going to actually drop that wherever my cursor is located on this Google Doc. Notice that it kept the formatting as well. And it still works with things like this. Select all. Delete. Undo. And if I wanted to stop listening, I just kind of click away from that text selection. You heard that little ding, but you can also have it kind of, you just click the button down there to have it stop. Okay. Now that's in a Google Doc, which is cool, whatever. But like, what if I'm, doing in a Pear Deck, or what if I'm in any other website? Well, since this is built into the operating system that the kids are using, this button works in anywhere that a kid can enter text. Enter. Right? So notice it doesn't work for everything, but look. Right? So any text box, anywhere where you see this cursor pop up, where they can type, they can talk. Okay. So hopefully this video has helped you kind of seeing the speech to text, or select to speech, the text to speech, and the speech to text are opening up some ideas about how you might use these features in your classroom and how you might help support students who might be struggling readers or writers be able to show what they know and access the content in your class. All right, so if you have any feedback, pluses or deltas, any requests or ideas for future videos, or things that you use, ways that you might use these in your classroom that I did not include or really think about, I would love for you to share this information. So please go ahead and look at the Google form in the description below this video. And thank you so much. Hopefully you found this helpful. Bye-bye.